Yo, what is going on? Today, I've got a really great video that is going to change your life if you follow these steps. Today, we're going over how to become dangerously confident in just 5 easy steps. Because I once struggled with this problem, the problem of not backing myself, the problem of self-doubt, the problem of not being able to be myself in everyday situations, and it hurt me. It was weighing me down, and it has been something that I've been working on for the past 5 or so years, just fine-tuning, finding the right way to live life so that I can best express myself, so that I can attract the kind of people that I want in my life, so that I can carry out the opportunities that I want to do without facing that fear of judgment, and just being able to show up as my best self. So this video today is gonna be how to become dangerously confident in 5 steps. And I promise you, if you follow these 5 steps, if you add even just one of these steps into your routine, into your life, and you focus heavily on it, it will change your life. It will be a diversion in where you are now to where you're going, and a diversion to a better place, right? To me, confidence is just a skill. Anyone can become confident. Yes, some people are born more confident than others, but all round, it's something that everyone can attain. And it's a skill, just like sales, just like communication. Confidence is a trait, it's a skill that we can all pick up. So, I'm excited to bring you this video. Now, I've got some dangerously confident characters right here, and I want to go through just a couple of their traits, just so you can get an idea of, what we're trying to do here. So, if you've ever seen the show Suits, this is Harvey Specter, the man himself, and he is just an absolutely assertive, he is cocky, but he's confident, and he's got some really great traits. One of his famous lines is, "I don't play the odds, I play the man." And what that means is, life can be stacking odds against him, You might be getting thrown curveballs, one after the other, but you just got to play the man. You just got to play the man that actually gets it done. That's what I take from this quote, is that he's playing the guy that wins, right? That's what you got to do. And it's almost like a fake it till you make it, or a be do have kind of saying, right? Be before you have, right? Be that guy that's confident, that does the thing, that can do the thing. Just back yourself every single day of the week. I don't play the odds, I play the man. The next character is the infamous Conor McGregor, the notorious Conor McGregor. And he says, excellence is not a skill, excellence is an attitude. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, is you can just literally fake it till you make it. You can just have the right attitude. If you change your attitude, if you change what you say to yourself, your thoughts, how you speak to yourself privately, if you just fix what you're thinking and just have a better attitude about life all around, then you're gonna excel. And confidence is literally just a way of being. It's just a mindset, okay? Like, you will become confident if you act confident, right? And last but very not least is my man Jordan. And he says, I can accept failure. Everyone falls at something, but I can't accept not trying. And MJ is just one of the most hardworking men, I'd like to say, in history. If you've ever watched his documentary on Netflix, it's a great one, very inspiring. I don't even watch basketball, but that made me love the sport of basketball. And not because of the actual sport of basketball, but because of MJ and how much he loved it. and how passionate he was about winning, and his mindset, trying his absolute best, giving his all in every single game, you know, and the confidence to do that every single game is what set him apart from the others. Now, all these guys have one thing in common, okay? Every successful person you admire has one thing in common, and it's not money, talent, or luck, but it's confidence, right? Now, I just want to go through a couple things in my life that I wouldn't have been able to do without confidence, just to show you what confidence has done for me. This photo is actually a couple years old. This was back when I was living in New Zealand and I was running a job over there. I had a team of, this isn't even the whole team, I had a team of about 15 guys on this job, and yeah, just to be in charge, answer the questions, lead a team, delegate, communicate with the different people on the team, because being a leader is, a lot of it is just people skills, is dealing with the different characters. Currently I'm leading a team of 20 guys here in Brisbane City. And yeah, again, it is a lot of people skills. And I wouldn't be able to do this job without having the confidence to back myself every single day. This is a photo from a benefit event, and we do a lot of these. We set up the tent, we set up fitness events, and you know, we just host and get people in the boots. We get people, if you don't know, I actually own a compression boots business with two of my good mates, and we do a lot of like social community events, and if I didn't have any confidence, I wouldn't be able to do these. I couldn't afford, and I cannot afford to be a shy character, to dim my voice, to dim my personality because of what other people think, because of external factors. You know, I have to be confident, I have to be out there, I have to, you know, engage with people, and it takes a certain kind of somebody to do that. This last photo is me winning my boxing fight, and just the whole lead up to that, to take on a boxing fight, to do it in front of hundreds of people, that was daunting, you know, but I had the confidence to get in there and prove to myself that I was a certain kind of man. And that is part of the process, is proving to yourself that you are that guy, right? Now, enough about me. I want to talk about the 5 steps today. These 5 steps are, yeah, like I said, if you even do one of them, your life is gonna change over time. And it's pretty simple. I wouldn't say it's always gonna be easy. You know, you've got habits for a reason. You do them over and over again. I'm asking you to change your habits for the better of your life, to be a more confident character. And for me personally, the importance of having confidence in yourself, having confidence in this life, is that you can express yourself for who you really want to be. Because I've lived in different locations like New Zealand, Bali, Australia, and there's different cultures around, and you can fall into, you know, the culture's way of being. Like, and my personal opinion on Australia is that, you know, a lot of people are negative. A lot of people are gonna cut you down if you try to shoot up. It's called tall poppy syndrome. As soon as you start doing something that is out of the norm, people are going to try to cut you down. And without confidence, without backing yourself, without a bit of evidence that you are this person that can do this, you're gonna get cut down. So confidence is a very important determining factor in whether or not you succeed in your journey of becoming the man you wish to be. And just that sentence there is so important to me. Becoming the man you wish to be. Because that's what it's all about, right? You want to marry the woman of your dreams. You want to like provide for her. You want to, you know, live a life that's worth living. We're only here for 70 or 80 years if we're lucky. You know, you might live to 90 if you're lucky, or 100, but the average age is 86 years old, I believe. And what, you may already be 20, 25, 30, however old you are, you're actually like halfway through your lifetime, because the time perception as you go on gets shorter and shorter. So, you know, you're going to be in the blink of your eye and you're going to be 40 years old. You're going to be 50, 60. It's going to happen quick. You need to learn to attain these traits that bring you up. Learn to attain the traits that are going to make you into the person, going to help you achieve the life you dream of. And yeah, it takes a certain kind of quality of confidence. Every successful person you meet has this quality of confidence in some way, shape, or form. Now, these 5 steps are going to literally make you become your most confident self. So, just a quick tip, I would appreciate it, and you know, for the better of this video for you, is write this stuff down. You know, like, you're not going to remember it if you don't write it down. So make sure you got a notebook out, open up a Notion or a notes book, and yeah, let's get to it. So the first step or tip is to keep promises to yourself, right? Be impeccable with your word. When I say keep promises to yourself, I'm referring to living a life of integrity, okay? If you make the decision to always tell the truth, and sometimes the truth's going to get you in trouble. The truth's going to be ugly. The truth is, you know, a little white lie could probably get you out of a few situations here and there. But internally, you know you've told this white lie. You know, you might white lie about going to the gym one day to your mates, and inside of you, that breaks you down a little bit, okay? That, like, you keep note of that. You have a mental note of that. You're the only one that knows that you lied to yourself. And you keep doing that, you're going to lose trust in yourself. And if you can't trust yourself, then how are you supposed to be confident in yourself, right? If you can't trust, if you don't know who you are deep down, like, you can't say that you're a leader. You can't say that you do what you say you're going to do. If you set a goal to make $100,000 in 6 months, you know, if you say your past experiences was you do everything you say, you set a goal, you achieve it, you make your bed every morning, you stick to the diet, you hit your gym every week, you just do everything that you say you're going to do. You never lie. You know exactly who you are. You set a goal and you achieve it. So when you set a goal as big as, say, making $100,000 in 6 months, you know you're going to carry that out because you do everything you say you're going to do. Now, I know being impeccable in your word doesn't necessarily correlate between making 100K or making money. I'm saying that it correlates between you have this internal knowing inside of you that you're going to do whatever it takes to make that 100K because you said it to yourself out loud. Now, the whole purpose of being impeccable with your word is, like I said, you're going to know yourself, but you're also going to just build a really good sense of self-trust and self-worth. And if you always tell the truth, if you always know who you are, you're not going to care what anyone else is doing. You're just going to be in your own lane, carrying out your own things. I remember when I told my best mate that I was going to carry out this boxing fight in Bali, and the hardest thing for me was the sparring sessions, right? The sparring sessions, I was scared. Seriously, if you've ever been sparring, especially in Bali and boxing, there's some killers out there. And so every Tuesday and Thursday there were sparring sessions, and you know, like Sometimes I would go, sometimes I wouldn't. But after I signed up for a fight, I told my mate that I would go to every single sparring session. And I did. Every single time I went before I got there, I was shitting myself. I was feeling like, oh, like who's going to be in there today? Because you never knew. Who am I going to come up against? And there was weeks where, you know, there wasn't that great of skilled fighters, and it was good. I felt amazing when I got out. You know, I got a couple good hits on some guys. And there were weeks when there were professional boxers in there, and you just end up matching with them. There were weeks when no one was reffing, and it was, you know, it wasn't smart sparring. Like, we were hurting each other, literally punching each other in the head. You know, and sometimes I'd come home with black eyes, bruised lips, whatever it was. But the biggest thing for me is that I felt so good every time I left, because, you know, I was so scared to do it, and I did it anyways. But I could have easily just flaked. I could have easily just skipped, you know. And for me, that just felt amazing. And it builds this real great sense of self-trust. So step number 1 is be impeccable with your word. Write that down. Step number 2. All right, so stop worrying about what other people think of you. When you worry about what other people think about you, it's like you've got a chain ball strapped to your ankle, and you're dragging it around with you everywhere you go. Like, if you're at the gym and you're worried about what Sally over there is doing, or you're worried about what Ben is looking at, or if he's looking at you, or if he thinks you're small, or whatever it is, it's a weight on your shoulders. It's wasted brain power, and you don't need to be spending your energy there, because most people don't actually care about you, right? There's this cool word, it's called Sonder, and my mate actually owns a cafe and he named it Sonder. But the meaning of the word is that everyone is living a life that is as intricate and complicated as yours, right? So think about that. You think you're the main character of your movie. Well, everyone thinks they're the main character of their movie, and you're just a side character in theirs. People will literally see something or see you and forget about you in 10 seconds, right? Like, people don't actually care. And so if you're worried about what every Jimmy Joe and Kathy Kim is thinking about you, well, you're wasting your brain power and you're diminishing your potential. What you need is to know whose opinion actually matters, right? Who actually matters in your life? Are they where you want to be, right? Are you taking advice from someone that is ahead of you in the game, or are you taking advice from someone that is behind you? Like, ask yourself the question, like, who do you look up to? Do you have any mentors? Do you have people that you look up to? And why do you look up to them? You know, take their advice if they're somewhere you want to be. You know, that's what you should be doing. And the last point on that is judgment is inevitable. It is. We all judge. We all have an opinion about something, right? You've got an opinion about me. I've got an opinion about Jimmy Joe, subconsciously. But the point is, it doesn't matter. And you know it as well. You know it doesn't matter. You're going to get judged in this life. And it's up to you to put that in the back pocket and move forward. You've got so much potential lying on the table. And every time you trace your thoughts to what other people are thinking about you, you're distracting yourself. You're letting yourself go. And it's negative. It's literally holding you down. It is so irrelevant. I don't even want to talk about it anymore, honestly. So write that down. Stop worrying about what other people think about you. Step number 3, take action and give yourself evidence, right? Execution will build confidence, you know? I'm a big believer in, setting a goal, reverse engineering that goal, and then carrying out the execution. You can do the mental masturbation and just keep planning and making up vision boards and writing on whiteboards and writing big to-do lists. But if you're not executing, well, then you're not going anywhere. And you're also not giving yourself any evidence, right? A great way to build momentum is to start executing. Set yourself a few daily goals, like get up at 5 a.m., go for a morning walk, meditate, journal, gratitude, right? You do all this before 6 a.m. You've already knocked 5 things off your list that are charging you up. Get some morning sunlight, right? These things are good for you. They fuel you. They give you energy. Like, you're a human being. You need to do things that bring you up, bring your energy up. You need to work out what charges you. I know that stuff charges me, so those are my examples. But yeah, you need to stack evidence that you're gonna have a good day, right? For example, those things will give me the energy to have a great day. They'll raise my frequency to a high vibration where I feel great, I've got a great attitude of excellence, and I'm gonna succeed. And when you feel great, well, you're confident, It's a bit of a byproduct. But when you feel crap, your actions have probably led you there. And it's hard to be confident when you feel crap because you're just not feeling your best. So you need to set yourself up for success. But more importantly, it goes back to being impeccable with your word, right? So if you're impeccable with your word and you do everything you say, and even when you don't want to, even when no one's watching, you're living a life of integrity, that is building evidence, right? You know what I mean? Like, every little thing you do that you say you're going to do, and every time you keep a promise to yourself, that is stacking evidence. And that evidence is building that self-worth, that self-trust. So stack enough proof that you are who you say you are, right? And get to the end of each day and feel accomplished. You gave it your all. It's literally in your court. Take action. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't take action. So, moving forward, number 4, eliminate negative thoughts and beliefs. Your thoughts and beliefs control your reality. I've been doing a lot of study over this for the last few years, and it's crazy. I want to tell you a story about... Actually, I'm going to tell you about what I've been learning in terms of beliefs. And basically, there's that saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. You know what I mean? So, if you believe you are going to be a millionaire, if you believe that you're actually going to be a millionaire, right? And you may not be a millionaire now, but you believe that you're going to be a millionaire. It's going to happen at some stage. Then your whole world is shaped around that belief. You move every day naturally taking the actions of someone who's going to become a millionaire. You would look after yourself. You would look after your space and your belongings, your finances, your relationships. You would take action and you would do the work because it's the work that's going to make you a millionaire. Whatever journey you're on at the moment, at some stage it's going to make you a millionaire, but you just got to keep moving forward. These beliefs shape your reality. Or if you believe that, you can never make it out of $10,000 in your bank account. You know, somehow, some way, you're always going to get a little bit further than $10,000 and spend your money and get back to right where you are. Your mind is like a block of real estate, right? And you can only fit so much stuff in it. And so your brain is already made up of negative beliefs and positive beliefs. And you basically want to have as many positive beliefs about yourself, about life, about where you're going. You want to have as many positive thoughts about the world and who you are and how much you love yourself. And you get this from being impeccable with your word. You get this from digesting healthy information, healthy podcasts, reading good books, listening to inspiring people, getting away from negative people, listening to people that are doing amazing things. You know, it's a frequency game, and you really need to be very careful on who you hang around with. You know, like you're going to become like the people that you're surrounded by. Think about like the age-old saying, you are the 5 people that you hang out with, and you become them. Think about if you hung out with like 5 people that were just dogs, you know, like they were just going after it. They were just like making millions. They were the most confident characters. They'd give back to the world. They were just the most fulfilled human beings you've ever met. And if you hang out with these 5 people on a daily basis or weekly, monthly basis, whatever, you're going to become the 6. You're going to become that 6th fulfilled guy, that confident guy. You're going to, raise your standards to their standards. Whereas if you hang out with the wrong people, then you're going to turn into one of them. So, yeah, getting rid of the negative thoughts and really practicing like speaking to yourself nicely, it's going to change your life. If you just thought positively every day, if you change your beliefs to beliefs that are going to bring you forward in life, beliefs that you are a leader, beliefs that you are a great communicator, beliefs that you are confident, like it's going to change your life. So, last but definitely not least is have conviction and focus on yourself. You need to cultivate the courage to talk to yourself and say, I am confident. I am going to do this. Those 2 words, I am, are, I'd say, the most powerful words that you can say. Every time you say, I am not something, or I am shy, or I can't do this, well, you're actually reinstating that in your subconscious mind that you can't do that thing. Whereas every time you tell yourself, I am this, every time you think to yourself, I am this guy, I am confident, I am a leader, subconsciously, that's getting embedded into your brain. And it's almost like repetitions. It ends up being on the forefront of your mind. Before you know it, you're saying you're confident all the time. You're doing things that confident people would do because you're thinking that you're confident. It ends up becoming you. Your personality changes the more and more you do this. I can do this. I can do that. I do this. I am that guy. I am that I am. And these words are going to change your life. And now you might not believe me because it's such a simple ask to talk to yourself nicely, to say that you are that kind of person. But I promise you, 6 months of saying you are confident, you're going to become confident. Of course, you've got to be taking action. You've got to be impeccable with your word. You've got to practice, but you will get there. And the skill of confidence, the trait of confidence is going to, create opportunities for you that you wouldn't have had if you weren't confident. So Have conviction with everything you do and who you are. I am a leader. I am confident. I am a good salesman. You know, even if you're not, fake it till you make it. I am a salesman and I am a great salesman. You know, if you tell yourself that and you're in sales, eventually you're going to get there. People are going to listen to you because you got conviction. Conviction is powerful. And conviction is what's going to teach your subconscious mind what you want. But it can also, it's a double-edged sword where you can stab yourself because you've got negative self-beliefs, you know? You keep talking to yourself badly. And you're your own sabotager. You're holding yourself back. And no one can help you. You know, people can help you as much as they want, but if you're just talking to yourself in disbelief, then you're always going to be kept under the ceiling. You need to expand your ceiling. You need to get rid of the negative thoughts and change your beliefs. You need to have conviction that you are this kind of person. And you need to give yourself the evidence that you are this kind of person by being impeccable with your word and taking action. These steps are going to change your life. And now, I hope you've written these things down. To quickly recap, number one, keep promises to yourself. Always do what you say you're going to do. You know, create a list at the start of the day, carry out that list and get every single damn thing done. Stop worrying about what other people think of you. It is an absolute waste of your time. You know, you're wasting your time thinking about anyone else but you. Imagine you had made it. Imagine you already had carried out everything you wanted to do and desired. You wouldn't give a damn rat's ass about what anyone else is doing. Number three is take action and give yourself the evidence. You need to execute. It is the most important step in anything you do, and it is important that you are not staying stagnant in this life. If you're staying stagnant, you're dying, and that's facts. Number four is eliminate negative thoughts and self-belief. Like I said, your brain is a piece of real estate, and if you're filling your brain with negativity, thoughts that aren't bringing you up, again, you're holding yourself back, you're leaving potential on the table. You need to be talking yourself up. You need to affirm to yourself that you are the kind of guy that gets what he wants, that is confident, that does the thing. And last but not least, you need to have conviction on yourself, on your life, on everything you do, on who you are, and you need to focus on yourself. It is the most important step. Focus on yourself. Now, if you take even just one of these and add them into your routine, just say, look, knock the light. If you say, look, oh, bear with me. I knocked the light. Yeah, if you take one of these steps and do them for just 1 month, you know, for this month I'm gonna do everything I say I'm gonna do. Well, watch how good you feel by the end of that month. You're gonna feel so great about yourself. Your self-worth is just gonna go like that. You're gonna back yourself. You're gonna be walking around with a little jump in your step. You're gonna feel amazing. It's the way through. Now, I'm glad you made it this far into the video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you do want to know more, I've got a free 5-year template that I can send through to literally map out the next 5 years of your life. You know, to set some real incredible goals and actually achieve them. Reverse engineer these goals. If you'd like to send me that, if you'd like me to send that to you, comment leader down below and I'll get in touch. But if not, I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.